war never changes.
Fallout 3 is a post-nuclear role-playing game. It's set in Washington, D.C. area. There was a nuclear war with China, world got blown to hell, and your character starts off in Vault 101 and then emerges into this post-nuclear wasteland to try and eke out an existence and survive in this this horrible wasteland. It's a big open-ended role-playing game where you go where you want, and do what you want. It's all about player choice and being the kind of character you want to be, whether that's good or evil or neutral, however it is you want to play the game. Can you just be the completely evil bastard the whole way through and then get the completely evil bastard ending? Absolutely. Can you get the, goody two-shoes ending where you did the right thing in every situation and you were Joe Hero? Then yes, you can. And then you get all of the variations in between. And again, it's, the decisions you make all along. We didn't want to have a situation where it was, well, you can play the whole game through as this way, but then at the end of the game, you get one choice, good or evil, and that totally changes the end of the game. Like that doesn't make sense. We want it to be based on any number of things you've decided all along the way as well, so that those things have meaning and have some bearing. So the first two Fallout games were set on the West Coast, so we were really interested in moving the series to the East Coast and figuring out, okay, well, that's what's going on that coast, but Washington D.C. is the nation's capital. What's been happening in this coast and what's been happening in the nation's capital? You'll see various landmarks that if you know anything about D.C., monuments that you might recognize, the Capitol, the Washington Monument, that kind of stuff. Things are clearly not as plentiful or easy as they once were, but things are still living. They may be mutated, they may be weird. You may have to eat an iguana on a stick, but there is still food. Life is still going on. There are still sources of water to be found, and a sort of commerce has developed in this world. So people are still managing existence. It's a harsh existence, and that's what one of the things we hope to do with Fallout 3 is to bring that to light to the player, that it's not all of the sort of smiley 50s Americana stuff, that these people are trying to scrape out an existence, and it's a really hard, brutal world that they're doing it in. The size of Fallout 3, it's definitely smaller than Oblivion. One of these days we're going to have to measure it out, because I don't think we have yet. Everybody asks, well, how long does it take you to walk across the world? We haven't ever bothered to do that. It's smaller, but whether it's 80% the size or 50% the size, I honestly couldn't tell you. It's still a really big world with a ton of locations. Fallout 3 will definitely have plenty of stuff off the beaten path that you just stumble across, happen upon, just stuff to find out in the wasteland, miscellaneous random stuff for you to do. That's part of what makes a free form, big open world game fun. If you don't find that stuff, what's the point of exploring? It's the ability to find that kind of thing just out there when you're not looking for it that makes it a lot of fun. Definitely what makes Fallout memorable for a lot of folks, I won't speak for everybody, but certainly for a lot of folks, is that 1950s sensibility set against this post-nuclear world. That there are these people who come from that, it was their idea of the future that got realized, their Tomorrowland with robot maids and rocket cars and all that. And that sensibility that they had, that Leave It to Beaver, everything's going to be okay, and then that gets blown to hell, and then those people still cling to that, that idealistic view of how things are going to turn out, but everything is all just blown to hell. That gives Fallout a lot of its, flavor, and makes it memorable, the juxtaposition of those things. So one of the many reasons why we love the series and wanted to go out and pick up the rights to do it, because it is such a great setting for a role-playing game.